Well, it's that time again. I finished reading Unital Ring 3, so it's time for the review. Okay, well, Unital Ring 3. I had a lot of anticipation going into this one, especially off of the end of the last book and with the cover of this book. I was very much like, I am ready, give me, give me, give me. And boy, was it a lot. So, we had some stuff. Again, I don't want to say too much. Don't want to get into super spoilery stuff because I do. Again, want you to go out, buy the book, and read it yourself. So we got we pretty much found out. We ended last book with the cliffhanger of the fact that Argo knows who Kikuoka's name is. Chris Height. We find out very quickly here how she knew. Kirito asks her how, and Kikuoka does explain that he did hire Argo for a job before Ordinal Scale happened. So yeah, Argo also complains during this little chapter that Kikuoka owes her a favor. Not well, I think she said more of a bonus is what she said. But anyway, Kikuoka pretty much asks Kirito at this point, hey man, we got a problem in the underworld. Someone has been diving in that we don't know who, and we want you to dive in and help. Kirito's like, absolutely, I'll do that. But can I bring Asuna and Alice with me? And Kikuoka goes, sure, dude, why not? At this point, we are the day before Asuna's birthday, and Kirito doesn't know what to get her. He's a bad boyfriend. He eventually stops and gets her something, which is, it was nice what it actually was. When they it's a very nice scene when they reveal what Kirito got her, and that whole thing is just, it melts my Kirisuna loving heart. And then we get, oh boy, do we get a scene, man. We get, I think, what might be one of the most important scenes in Unital Ring. Because this probably sparks the theory of some stuff. Kirito logs on, and he sees that there's children. Pattern children have logged on, are there. And he's like, how did this happen? And Yui's like, well, they just kind of happened overnight. And it's like, probably because the pattern now live in this big area, they now have children to like accommodate that. Kirito starts to think, can you have children in a VR world? A VR baby? And as he thinks this, gets a big headache, and Asuna is now staring off into space. So this has led the theory to be that when they were in the underworld for 200 years, Kirito and Asuna had a kid. I love this theory, and I hope it's true. And we find out eventually. Of course, this will now spark the fact that every new character will come with the problem of, oh my god, is this their kid? Is this their kid? Is their kid this person? It's like, I think if it's their kid, we'll know. We'll be able to tell. But I saw that and I was like, oh, so that's what sparks the theory. Yeah, that's real good, and I hope it's true. So eventually, Kirito, he goes to get Argo because Argo's now logged into Unital Ring, and he told her, I'll take you to our little village, which they call Kirito Town. And he hates the damn name. They get a new name at the end. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it because I will butcher the name so badly. He goes with Alice. They find Argo. There's a bit of a boss battle too. And then Argo says, well, before we leave, there's this meeting I want to check out. And so she and Kirito go to this meeting. They don't go with Alice because someone's got to stay with Kuro. And Kirito's like, I can't go to the meeting with a giant freaking panther. But anyway, they go to this meeting, and it's just a bunch of guys, just a bunch of teams, and they're like, hey, let's unite, and together we'll go in Unital Ring. You know, we'll win this together. And, you know, it's a pretty nice meeting. Eventually, however, a monster spawns, and a lot of people are hit with a magic spell. including Kirito. This spell is called like the something of the accursed, and pretty much what it means is this girl called oh my god, her name, I'm gonna mispronounce it, but she's Louise. Her name is Mutasina. I think that's how you pronounce the name, Mutasina. She slams her staff down, and everyone who is hit with the spell gets now like a black dot on their neck. And everyone who has the black dot starts choking, like they can't breathe. And then, she slams her thing again and they're free. So pretty much what she's done is she has made it so that way all these guilds now will have to follow her lead or die, pretty much. And what does she want them to do? Why, she wants them to invade Kirito Town, of course, because she knows Kirito lives there. How does she know? We don't know. That's all we see of Mutasina in this book. But I am assuming we're going to see more of her in the next one. This is, again, just set up for the next book. Kirito tells Argo, you don't tell anyone about this. We are telling no one, especially Asuna. We are telling no one that this happened to me. Eventually, they head back to Alice. They get on a boat back to the town. They go through a cave. There, Kirito finds like some iron, and he's like, "Well, this is a good source for iron for our town, but how are we gonna, keep this from the enemies?" Eventually, they block off the entranceway, so that way no one can get in. Well, they can get in, but it's blocked off and kind of hidden. It looks like a wall. You wouldn't know there's an entrance there. So Kirito's like, well, for now we have like our own little iron and ore kind of area that we can mine. There is a snail boss in the cave, which they kill, and Kirito gets another magic crystal from the snail. He tries to give it to Alice and Argo, but I should say he got one from the boss that they saved Argo from when they first met her, which was like a ghost boss. And Argo tells him to use that one, but he doesn't because the magic crystal is ice, and the ice reminds him of Yu-Gi-Oh. So he said he'll give it to someone else. But then when he sees the one from the snail, he goes, I can use this one. He gets what's called decay magic, but he can only right now shoot like a ball of muck. He's like, it's not very good at the moment, but hopefully he can level that up. Then, let's see. We find out that some of the Bastion people have joined the town. We remember the Bastion from the first book. Yizuma, her name has a YZ. She's the leader of the Bastions. She joined with a couple of her Bastion people, after Asuna bested her in a duel. So Kirito tells everyone about everything, doesn't tell them that, hey, I got cursed. Then, let's get to the underworld stuff, really. We have the cute Kirasuna scene, but let's get to the underworld stuff, because I don't really want to talk about the Kirasuna scene, because it's really nice. And read it. We get to the underworld. This is what we've been waiting for. They go to the underworld from the Roppongi station. So the one that they went in at the end of War of Underworld is the place they go again to dive. They dive into the underworld. Underworld now runs 1-to-1 with the real world now. And they meet Percy Arabelle, Ronier's descendant. And he's the younger brother of... Oh, I got a message. Isn't that nice? And he's the younger brother of Lorani. She's the one who looks like Ronier at the end in the Blue Rose ship. So we meet him, all that type of stuff. It's real cool getting to see like how the underworld has advanced. Obviously, Kirito, a lot of this book doesn't believe he's the Star King, which I don't know why. Dude, just accept it. He always goes, he goes, oh, the Star King invented this? And everyone's like, yeah, that was you. He goes, nah, it's not me, man. Nah, I didn't do it. Just, dude. Just accept it, man. What the hell? But it is really cool getting to see the underworld, how it's advanced since we've last saw it in Moon Cradle. No, 20. And I am very excited. Speaking of Moon Cradle, sidebar. Really excited to see where we go with Unleashed Blading and the Dark Emperor stuff. Really excited for that. That's sidebar though. So Kirito uses his incarnation when they meet Percy. I'm not gonna say why. And some officers come and they have this thing called an incarnometer that kind of identifies incarnation. Take Kirito away because they determine he's the source. They are about to question him. However, we get Lorani, I don't know. And oh my god, how do you say the other one's name? Stisa? Is that it? Stisa. They take him away and they're like, we got you, man, don't worry. And they get into what Kirito says looks like a sedan. And there's someone in there, and he goes, who's that? And she goes, the commander of the integrity pilots. And Kirito's like, oh. He steps in, sees the guy. He's got a hat on. He's got a mask. He's also got flaxen hair and green eyes. You've seen him on the cover. Looks a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! But the man says, unlike Stisa and Lorani, who just firmly believe Kirito's Star King, and they are right. This guy's not super sure. He's like, oh, so you're the one who they say is the Star King. And he introduces himself as, okay, I'm so gonna butcher this freaking name. Eoline Herlent. And he says he wears the masks around his eyes because the skin around his eyes is sensitive to the light of Solus. Don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. Kirito's about to shake his hand, and he is logged out by Dr. Kojiro because she gave them a time limit of like 2 hours. You got 2 hours in the underworld. And that's the underworld section. It's not a lot. We don't spend a lot of time in the underworld. We spend like a chapter in the underworld. Most of it's still in Unital Ring. Obviously, it makes sense. This arc is called the Unital Ring. But I would have liked more underworld, man. I want more underworld. We go back to Unital Ring, and we have the town being a monster. It's the standard. We're gonna do a cliffhanger. You could tell that this was gonna be a cliffhanger. A monster's near the town and it's attacking. And Kirito and Asuna are like, we've kind of seen this monster before. And it isn't until Kirito gets hit, and it takes like almost all his HP, that Asuna remembers what this monster is. It's the Skull Reaper from floor 75 of Aincrad. Except it now has skin on it now. It's got like meat and skin on it. And that's how they end that's our little cliffhanger in a way. To the end of volume 3. I did skip quite some stuff because again, I want you to read the book. But that was the little cliffhanger. So now I have to wait for volume 4 of Unital Ring. I can't pre-order it because it's not actually available for pre-order yet. I believe, if I am correctamundo, if we go to volume, this was volume 25, right? Yes, volume 25 is the next one. The English version, volume 25, if no delays are allowed, is in August, the end of August. And it is June at the moment, currently. Early June. So I don't know if it's actually on Amazon. We can check if it's on Amazon. Don't know if it is. So let's check. Sword Art. Online volume 24. 25. I have 24. It just deleted everything. I just deleted everything, as Captain Holt would say. Volume 25. Is it there? It is not. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, it is. It is. Volume 25. You can pre-order it on Amazon. Oh, I'm going to pre-order it then. Oh, I'm so pre-ordering this. Yeah, okay. I'm so pre-ordering this. But that's it. So, what do I give Unital Ring 3? I would say this was a step up from the other two. I gave the other two 8 out of 10s. This is getting like an 8.5 out of 10. Never bored reading it. I was always happy to read it. Whenever I did, I was like, time to read some Unital Ring. Yeah, and I very much liked it as it did. As the other two, again, were building and building more stuff. This was now we're like, okay, now here's the stuff. Now we know who's attacking Kirito. Kirito and the people, right? Now we're introduced to the underworld. And we kind of get what's going to happen there. We get the payoff of the Kirito one, of Asuna's birthday. We get the payoff of that. Now we have to now we are working up to Kirito's birthday. We get the payoff of Argo now joining Unital Ring and all that type of stuff. We get the payoff of now the town is more built and established. We get some really good stuff with Egil in there too, by the way. Egil gets some pretty good stuff near the end of the book too. And I really just think that this book was a lot better because the other two were establishing and just building. Now we're kind of like, here's your payoffs to them now. So yeah, I will give this book an 8.5 out of 10. And I look forward to volume 25, which I'm going to pre-order now. So thank you all so much for listening to this. And yeah, go out and buy the book if hopefully this has convinced you to. And yeah, I will see you all next time.